Good afternoon. I hope that everyone is doing well and has had a good day to this point. Be sure that you all can hear me. Awesome. I had to test it out. This is a new platform for me, so I am very much looking forward to this experience with all of you. So welcome to the YWCA's 110th annual meeting. I'm told, is that better? Okay. The 110th annual meeting. And I'm known to some and maybe not to others, but I am Tracy Nixon Moore, and I'm the president of the board of directors for the YWCA. And it's my pleasure to welcome all of you to our virtual meeting. We'll be having a shorter annual meeting than usual due to the current environment. As many of you are aware, COVID has changed a lot of the ways in which we interact with one another. But we will still be taking care of some really important tasks like voting in new board members, honoring some of the board members who are ending their terms, and celebrating our successes and programs. And lastly, looking ahead to the future for some of the things that are very bright, lots of exciting things ahead for this organization. Now I'd like to open the business meeting portion of our meeting. And first, I'll ask for a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the 2019 annual meeting. All right, Stacy Ormsby, all in favor? All right, any opposed? I'm seeing some responses on the screen. Thank you. All right, looks like the ayes have it. Let's see, I want to make sure I'm looking at the group chat. All right, I will now present the nominating committee report. And we have a slate of officers and directors that were elected by electronic ballot. And I'm going to take a moment to read through the ballot that many of you have voted on, and then we'll take the time to acknowledge some of our new members and those who are leaving us. So the following slate of officers and directors is presented by the 2019-2020 nominating committee. So the new president will be Allison Capuccio, vice president fundraising, Stacy Ormsby. Our secretary will be Shannon Walsh, treasurer, Nara Majid. Candidates for the 2020 to 2023 term are Rona Cohen O'Brien, Leah Skinner, Veronica Delandro, and Nara Majid. So I also want to list out for you for the slate for this year, members who are continuing to serve, and that's Maha Abdullah, Lisa Amodio, Donna Clark, Jeanette Edwards, Megan Hill, Tootie Miller-Fulton, Angelica Wilson, and Jennifer Yashowicz. So I thank you to all of our voting members, and welcome and congratulations to our new board members and new directors. I'd also like to thank the following board members for their service. Their terms are ending, and we really appreciate all that you've contributed to the Y. And that's Maria Samayo, Jessica Hernandez, Linnell Tarka, and Sheila Armoral. So a plaque commemorating your work will be shipped to you. Ordinarily, we are able to hand these out and have a photo op with these individuals, but I certainly want to be sure that I thank you for your time on the board. I certainly have enjoyed serving with you, and I'm certain that I'll be seeing you at events in the future. And my hope is that we will have that opportunity this coming fall. And I'm going to take a moment to just reflect on the last several years as board president and as a member of the YWCA Board of Directors. It has been, an honor and a pleasure to serve this organization. I have a long history, probably 20 plus, 25 plus years with the organization, being affiliated with it. But certainly over the last decade, I've had an opportunity to serve, and the great work that is done by the organization, the staff, the leadership has been second to none. The things that are available to this community because of what the YWCA of New Britain has been able to do has been pretty remarkable and done quietly. So I would say real hidden jewel in this community. We have people who are interacting and standing up for the rights of women and racial injustice and leading projects with Central Connecticut State University and making the world a much better place for women and children. So I couldn't be more honored to have had the opportunity to work with this organization. There are a lot of really exciting things ahead and decisions to be made about new spaces and places for the organization, new opportunities for programming, and figuring out how we'll live in this COVID world and still deliver the kind of service and programming that we have done in the past. And I think that lots of opportunity available to the organization. So I thank you for the opportunity to the staff and to Tracy Van Hennessy, who we've had to spend a lot of time together this past year for sure. But I am certainly looking forward to enjoying all the work from afar. So at this time, I will ask Allison Cappuccio, who will be taking over as president of the board of directors, to make a few remarks before we move on in our agenda. So Allison? I'm going to wait for it to be handed over. Okay. I will come back in a couple moments with remarks from Allison. In the meantime, I heard Curtis join. So Curtis is going to provide our report from the trustees. So Curtis?
Thank you. I hope everyone can hear me. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. In 2019, continued economic growth, low unemployment, and a Federal Reserve policy of lowering interest rates resulted in a strong performance year for the YWCA of New Britain's endowment account. Overall, the portfolio grew by 18.7% for the calendar year, with a 2019 year-end balance of $1,452,803. In keeping with the investment policy statement of the YWCA of New Britain and the advice of our advisors at Janney Montgomery Scott, the allocation of the portfolio was maintained in a moderate mix of 58% in stocks, 42% invested in cash and bonds. I'd also like to thank Sylvia Lucas, whose term on the Board of Trustees is ending. Thank you, Sylvia, for your dedication and service to the YWCA. A plaque will be sent to you in the mail as a token of our appreciation. While today's report is my last as chair of the SAGE group of trustees, I look forward to continuing to serve the board of trustees as a trustee. I too have been involved with the organization for 20 plus years, and it's very near and dear to my soul, and I look forward to continuing to serve in that capacity. It's also an honor to chair the Board of Trustees, and I'd like to thank the trustees for their unwavering dedication and commitment to ensuring the management and oversight of the YWCA of New Britain Endowment Fund. It's a very important process and one that we take very seriously. Thankfully, 2019 was an excellent year for us, and while 2020 certainly appears to be having its struggles, you can trust that your Board of Trustees will continue to monitor the situation very closely. As I end my term of Chair of Board of Trustees, I'd like to invite John Miller, incoming Chair, to share a few words.
All right. We will take this opportunity to move the, advance our agenda forward, and we'll look for some comments from John. Oh, there he is. Hello.
Hi, Tracy. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, sorry. I didn't hit accept the speaker. I actually went through half of my thing already. So, but no, I want to thank Curtis personally on behalf of the members of the Board of Trustees. I want to thank you for your leadership over these past few years. For those who don't know Curtis, he is supportive, thoughtful, caring, and generous, and is always very practical in his approach to addressing issues and solving problems. He is a definite asset to the organization. I would also like to thank Paul Valletta and his team at Janney for the continuing guidance and counsel in helping us protect and grow our endowment. They are more than advisors, they are partners. I have served on the Board of Trustees for several years, 2 in my previous term as chairman. During that time, I have come to truly appreciate the work of the YW does in our community and beyond. The strength of the organization is evident in its continued successes in the face of change. Many organizations stumble when a longtime leader leaves. Robin, as did those who preceded her, did a wonderful job growing the organization and was proactive in addressing issues in the community. It was difficult seeing her leave. Fortunately for the YW, there was an incredibly competent leader already in the building, ready and willing to take on the challenges going forward, of which there have been many. But through it all, Tracy has not allowed the YW to skip a beat. She has addressed every issue head on and is forward-thinking in her approach to navigate into the future. Of course, none of this could have been accomplished without strong support from the directors, trustees, a dedicated staff, and committed volunteers. I've enjoyed working with Tracy on several projects over the past year and look forward to continuing our work together in the future. Thank you.
Right. Hello again. So thank you, John. I'm just going to take a moment and acknowledge some of the great work that has been done by the staff at the YWCA of New Britain. I'm really happy to report that the work that's been done and the impact in the community has been significant in 2019. Just some stats. 765 people received comfort, compassion, and counseling through our sexual assault crisis center service center, and by helping victims and their families regain feelings of independence, optimism, and hope. Our SACS volunteers contributed 6,422 hours of their time to help survivors of sexual assault, and no small feat. And we service such a large region, so they are to be commended for the amazing work that they're doing. And additionally, 474 children received quality care, education, and education through our nationally accredited child care program, putting them on a path to lifelong learning and success. Our Strive program for middle school girls gave 156 students a safe and comfortable place to learn and have fun after school. The House of Teens similarly had a successful year in servicing 119 high school girls, up from 88 in 2018, giving them the opportunity to attend programming on a college campus, learn job readiness skills, participate in advocacy activities, and much, much more. 455 gymnastics students took classes to gain skills and confidence and to learn teamwork. We had 109 karate students learning lessons in self-defense, respect, discipline, focus, fitness, and teamwork. Now, we have a number of women who take advantage of the services of the YWCA, and there were 64 New Britain mothers who faced lots of challenges, faced social, economic, and educational barriers. They may not have actually finished or completed high school, but they participated in our Family Literacy Center. And these determined women studied to learn English or obtain their GED certification in order to further their education or become gainfully employed. And the leg up that the work of the Literacy Center provides to these women is significant. So we should, commend all of the groups within the, and staff on the Y for the work that they've done. And then last but not least, our dance program. Our total enrollment was 413 last year, and our dancers worked hard all year to dazzle over 800 spectators with grace and beauty in their recital. Now, you can see more details about the impact of our programs in the community in the annual report, and that will be mailed out to everyone soon. In the past, it has become available online, so look in your mail and online to be able to view it in more detail. I'd like to once again thank you, volunteers, our board of directors, our board of trustees, for their dedication, for the leadership, the donation of their time and attention, all of the members, employees, donors, and friends who help us remain steadfast in carrying out our important mission of eliminating racism and empowering women. We've had the great opportunity to be led by Tracy Madden Hennessy, who John spoke of earlier, who took over at a time that was really exciting and certainly has had a number of unexpected challenges, and she has stepped up and led, oftentimes when there might have been difficult decisions to be made, but in the end has made choices that have made the Y sustainable and whole. So I am thankful for her leadership, and I think that we have a lot of great things ahead of us. So I will turn this over to Tracy Madden Hennessy, the Executive Director of the YWCA. Tracy?
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Thank you for joining us tonight at the annual meeting, and thank you, Tracy. Tonight, we reflect on a busy year in 2019. It was a year of transition, both for the YWCA and for me, as I took over the role of Executive Director from Robin Sharp. My deepest thank you to all of the board members and trustees, whether you're staying with us or ending your term. Your commitment and your energy on behalf of the YWCA has been deeply appreciated, and I appreciate all of you. We couldn't have made 2019 such a success without you. To our newly elected board members and trustees, welcome, and thank you for taking on this responsibility. I look forward to working with each of you in the upcoming year. As Tracy indicated, there were many highlights that also included the extensive growth of our sexual assault crisis service. Staffing expanded by 50% to better serve many specialized populations in our target area. Expanded partnerships in the city's East End, fostered community and neighborhood connections, and the initiation of trauma-informed programming has encompassed our wellness, our children's programs, and will be interwoven into the community work on the East End as well. And finally, we've moved to put our own house in order as we've begun to integrate more thoroughly culturally competent practice into our programs. To all of you who've continued to support our work, I can't be more grateful to you for your continued contributions. And although we're sharing our progress for 2019, I can't close tonight without reflecting on the events of the last 2 weeks. In keeping with our mission as an anti-racist organization, the YWCA stands shoulder to shoulder with our neighbors and partners that have condemned the murder of George Floyd and the countless number of Black lives lost to police brutality. It's clear that our mission, the elimination of racism, is more critical than ever. I hope that you, who share our vision for a more just world, will work with us to call for the dismantling of systemic racism and the promotion of peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. To our friends and neighbors, people of color in the communities we serve, we see you, we hear you, we support you, and we are here by your side. Thank you for joining us tonight. Despite the tumultuous year that we've experienced so far in 2020, I look forward to sharing more information about our success when we meet again for our next annual meeting. And now I'm going to return the agenda to Tracy Nixon Moore to close us out. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Tracy, and thank you all for joining us from home for our virtual annual meeting. I wish all of you a great rest of your evening. I ask that, as Tracy alluded to, that we all find ways to demonstrate compassion and empathy in a time where we don't always see examples of that around us. Lend an ear, ask people how they are, check in, consistent with what we do as an organization. Support those people who are marginalized and sometimes left out of our social economic opportunities. And I would like very much to wish you all a safe, happy, and healthy rest of your year, and look forward to seeing you all again at some event sponsored by the YWCA. So this concludes our remarks for the evening, and we'll see you all very soon. Good night.
I apologize, Tracy. One thing I forgot to mention is that as we close out this year, I did want to thank both Curtis and Tracy for their time and their commitment to the Board of Directors and the Board of Trustees. Both Tracy and Curtis agreed to extend their respective terms for an additional year to provide stability while we went through the executive director transition. So to Tracy, your support and advice when it was needed were instrumental in making this transition a smooth one. Your partnership and leadership have been deeply appreciated as we've begun a deeper dive into our own operations in cultural competency and our work towards our mission. And when we find a gem, and Tracy is definitely one of those, we don't let go easily. So Tracy is transitioning to membership on our trustees. So thank you for continuing to share your gifts with us. I know Allison will make a wonderful successor and continue the legacy you are leaving behind. To Curtis, your guidance and steady support of the trustees is also appreciated. The trustees work with our investment manager to make prudent decisions about our endowment and also support our facilities. This year, our facilities grew by one with the purchase of the building next door. It's soon to be the home of our sexual assault crisis service. The trustees' support under Curtis's leadership was instrumental to our growth. Like Tracy, Curtis will be continuing as a member of our trustees while he hands over the reins to John Miller. So thank you, Curtis, for your continued dedication and support of the YWCA. I have deeply appreciated your advice and leadership. So both Tracy and Curtis are receiving a token of our esteem, which will be delivered to them in the upcoming weeks. Thank you all for joining us tonight. We appreciate all of your continued support, and we look forward to sharing information again in 2021 about the upcoming year. Thank you.